Hello and welcome to this reception information meeting. This meeting is for all the parents whose children start with us in September in our reception class. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Mrs. Lambourne. I'm one of the assistant head teachers at St John's. I'm the EYFS leader, so that means I'm in charge of reception and nursery. Unfortunately, due to the current situation, we can't hold this meeting face to face. So I've recorded all the things that I normally talk about to make sure that you have the information you need for your child's smooth transition into our school. So let's get started. So our team, as I've just said, I'm Mrs. Lambourne, so I'm the early years leader. The reception year leader next year will be Miss Cable. Miss Cable's been in reception many years, so some of you might already know Miss Cable. She's also one of the class teachers. Another important person is Mrs. Barker. Mrs. Barker is our special educational needs coordinator. If your child has any particular needs coming into our school, or if we identify any worries or concerns while they're with us, Mrs. Barker will be an important person for us to keep in contact with. And she can be contacted via the school office if you need to speak to her at any point. We also have Mrs. Seif. Mrs. Seif is based in our school office, and she's our family liaison officer. She is the port of call between us and yourselves. If there's something you don't wish to discuss with your child's class teacher, you can discuss that with Mrs. Seif. She's also there to offer other support. She'll point you into the right direction of different courses that you would like to attend, or to speak to the school nurse. The class teachers in reception next year, in class R1 is going to be Miss Cable, in R2 will be Miss Prentice, in R3 will be Mrs. Knights, and in R4 it will be Mrs. Polson. All four of those ladies are experienced reception teachers, and I'm sure your child is going to have a fantastic start to St John's in one of their classes. I'll talk a little bit more in a bit about how you'll find out which class your child is going to be in. So reception is part of the early years foundation stage. It's the last part of the early years foundation stage actually, and the early years foundation stage is all about children playing and recognising the importance of play. Everything your child does during reception will be a play-based activity. We know that children learn best when they're engaged and interested in their learning, and children love to play, and of course that's when they're going to be learning the most. A great part of the early years curriculum is that we had the flexibility to plan activities around the child's interests, because as I've just said, when they're interested in their theme, in their topic, then they're going to learn more. So we plan everything around what your children are interested in. If they're really into dinosaurs, we'll learn everything via dinosaurs. We might go on dinosaur hunts. We might go look at writing sentences about dinosaurs. We might look at finding different dinosaurs in the sand. Or if your child's interested in fairy tales, then we'll do our learning all based around fairy tales. We're also very lucky that we have got a fantastic indoor and outdoor learning environment, and we will learn in various environments. We might go outside to learn, we might learn inside. We learn in a variety of different ways and different places. Again, this is all about encouraging the children to engage in their learning, and that's when they succeed more. Another key aspect of the early years foundation stage is it encourages the practitioners, us as teachers, and yourselves as parents to work closely together. We will have various meetings throughout the year to meet with you and to discuss your child's progress, for you to identify if there's any worries or concerns you may have. We also have an app, an online learning journey app that you can see what your child's been up to at school, and you can also feed into that as well at home by uploading different photos of what your child has been up to. More details about that will come out in September once your child has started with us. Part of the early years foundation stage is developing your child as an effective learner. So we encourage children to see how they learn through playing and exploring. We get them to really in finding out and exploring the world around them. We get them to really have that idea that they have a go at something. It's okay to get things wrong. We encourage the children to be involved in their learning, to keep trying, and also think about what they want to do and are trying to plan out how they're going to achieve that. We encourage the children to think of their own ideas, make links between their thoughts, and also think about different alternative ways of how to do something if they can't do it the first way they think of. The early years foundation stage is broken down into 7 areas of learning. So throughout their time in reception, they will cover all 7 areas of these learning areas, and they are personal, social and emotional development. We encourage the children to think about their emotions, their behaviour, their social skills with others, their communication and language. This is thinking about the children's communication with each other, their speech and their sounds. Physical development. Physical development is about, yes, your fine motor control, whether they can thread beads, holding a pencil correctly, but it's also about gross motor control as well, using their balancing, playing football, throwing a ball, etc. And it also covers their health and social care as well. Are they able to get dressed and undress themselves? Are they able to have basic hygiene, go to the toilet independently, etc. We then move on to literacy. Of course, this is your reading and writing. Maths is where we cover our numbers and our shapes, space and measures. Understanding the world. This is where the children learn about the world around them. They learn about, they do little science experiments. It's also learning about the world of computers and ICT, and about people of different cultures and different ways of living. And then lastly, we have the expressive art and design. This is all your arts, about drawing and making things. It's also about drama and music and getting the children to be as creative as possible. So transition. Normally, we would invite the children in and you would have this meeting. Again, as I said, unfortunately, we can't do that at the moment. So during the week commencing the 6th of July, you will receive a telephone call from your class teacher. This will be the person who will be your class teacher for reception. They will inform you which class your child is going to be in. And during this phone call, you will also receive a date that your child can come in for a transition visit. Unfortunately, we're only able to hold, we're not able to hold as many visits this year as we normally do due to the situation, but we will do our very best to ensure a smooth transition into our school. As I've already discussed in the letter that I sent you, we've created a page on the school website. And on there, you've got various different videos, firstly of the staff introducing themselves. We've also put videos of our environment, because when your child does come to visit in July, things may look a little different to what they normally are, again, due to our current situation. And another key aspect of our transition is we will contact your child's previous nursery setting if they have been to one, or childminder if they've been to a childminder, and we'll have a brief discussion with them about your child and where if they've got any concerns or worries about your child moving into St John's. Again, it just gives us a bit of another view of an insight into your child's transition with us. In terms of September, as it stands, we are unsure of what September will look like. As soon as we know, we will let you know, and we will inform you of what date your child will start. We do always start with a few days where your child would undertake half days with us. First of all, we get your child to stay until lunchtime, and then after a few days they will stay for lunch, and then after a few days they will then stay the whole day. The priority for us now is your child's well-being. It's been a very uncertain time for children, so the well-being of your child is what is the most important to us at the moment. As I said, as soon as we know, we will send out details of September start dates once we've got government guidance. So the daily routine generally in September, if everything goes to plan and we return as normal, children will come in between 8:35 and 8:45. The classroom door will open at 8:35, and this is the time your child can enter, come in and get settled before the main day starts at 8:45. During the day, there's a mixture of teacher-led activities and child-initiated play. All these activities are based around the 7 areas of learning. The day will not involve the child sitting at a desk all day. As I said, we are a play-based curriculum. Everything they do will be play-based. And this might be during child-initiated time where your child is choosing what they would like to play with and where. They might choose to go inside, they may choose to go outside. There will also be times when there are teacher-led activities, and this may be in small groups or as a class. As I've already discussed, we have indoor and outdoor provision, so your child may choose to play inside or outside. And we do go outside whatever the weather. So we do encourage children to come with fully waterproof coats in the winter. We do have resources available in bad weather. We do have a stock of wellies and all-in-ones if we need to use those. Lunch is provided for the children between 11:30 and 12:30. Lunch, you can either provide your own packed lunch, or children between reception and year 2 are entitled to a free school dinner, which is cooked on site in our school kitchen. And then children are collected from the class door at 3:15. So our uniform. Details more about what our uniform are on the website. We have a navy blue uniform with a light blue t-shirt or shirt. We ask that children are always come fully dressed into school, and we ask that all uniform and belongings are labelled with your child's name. As you can understand, I'm sure that we have 30 children in a class, so we have 30 St John's jumpers or cardigans, and it's very hard to tell whose is whose unless it's got a name in. We don't allow trainers in school, and jewellery must not be worn. You can have small studded earrings, but they must only be studs. And children with long hair, we ask that should always be tied back. PE takes place every week. We ask that you provide your child with a PE kit on the first day of the term, and that will be kept in school for the whole half term. And again, details about the PE uniform can be found on the school website. Again, please ensure that your child's PE kit is labelled with your child's name. So just a couple of additional pieces of information. So we do require your child to have a school book bag. These will be able to be purchased in September from the school office, and they have a St John's logo on. In that bag, they will have their reading book, they will have their homework, and in that bag we will put any letters or notices that get sent out. We also ask that your child has a water bottle every day, and that is clearly labelled with their name. We have a voluntary art and craft fund, and this is just a small fund we asked if you can give a donation to, because that allows us to undertake activities such as cooking and other art and craft activities. That more details will come out about that soon. Forest School. So we do take regular trips to the forest. We are creating our own little forest school at the moment. We do, however, also use the Gravesend Boys Grammar School field, which has a little forest area to the side. And it's just a different environment for the children to learn. We do different activities such as den building, making clay faces on trees. The children love it and they get lots out of it. And just a reminder, we do have our fairly new school website. Please keep a lookout for that and keep an eye on different information that will go up on there. We do also now have a school Facebook and Twitter page, which again, we regularly update with what we've been up to in school. So as I've explained, every child is entitled to free school meals from reception to Key Stage 1. As I said, you can opt out if you so wish, and we just ask that you provide your child with a packed lunchbox with a healthy packed lunch in. There is a fund though called the Pupil Premium Fund that is where schools can receive additional funding based on the number of children who receive certain benefits. There's a letter about this fund on the school website. If you receive certain benefits, we can claim some extra money for per child. If you do register for this, we do give you a £30 uniform voucher as a thank you gesture. And the extra funding allows us to do those little extra things, maybe some music instrument lessons, different one-to-one sessions we do with different children. It just gives us that little bit of extra funding. So just some information on attendance and punctuality. As I said, the reception class doors, apologies. As I said, the reception class doors open at 8:35 each morning, and the first session begins at 8:45. We ask that your child arrives on time to avoid any disruption to the class and your child's learning. If your child isn't in by 8:45, they do have a chance to receive a late mark. As when children come in, and if they do end up coming in late, sometimes children can become upset and distressed because they feel that they've missed something, and they get quite sensitive. So we do ask, wherever possible, you are on time. If your child's unable to attend school due to illness, we ask that you phone the school office on the first day they are off. Please note that if you do not contact your child's teacher via the school office, the family liaison officer will contact you. This is for safeguarding purposes. We ask, wherever possible, you book appointments outside school hours. However, we do understand that sometimes this isn't always possible. We do ask that you send a letter or a copy of the appointment card into school so we can authorise that absence. We do have what we call attendance TED, and the children love this. This is given out in assembly on a Monday. Attendance TED is given to the best class who's had the best attendance each week. And the children love to see attendance TED visit them as much as possible. So communication, as I said, communication between yourselves as parents and us as practitioners is a key aspect of the early years curriculum, and actually all through our St John's School. If you do need to speak to one of the reception class before or after school, please make this brief. If you require more time to discuss, we ask you to ring or visit the school office to arrange an appointment with your teacher. We ask that the school office has your most current address and telephone number. Please do make sure that if you change your mobile number, you do let the office know in case of emergency. We have had previously where parents have changed numbers and not have informed us, and we couldn't get in touch with parents. We send home newsletters regularly to keep you up to date on school news. And we also send letters via email to parents, and we also send text messages too. So again, it's essential that you keep your mobile number and email addresses up to date with the office. As I said, each term you'll have the opportunity to come in and meet your class teacher and discuss how your child is progressing. They will give you a small report called the Unique Story, and this will detail how your child's getting on in the different 7 areas of learning. We also hold stay and play sessions. This is where parents can come and play with their children and see how they learn through play. Lots of parents find this session really beneficial because they don't realise what the children can learn through simple play-based activities. We also hold information talks about different subjects. For example, before we had the lockdown, we recently held some phonics talks, which gave parents information about the teaching of phonics in school. It also allowed you to come and observe the children in their class as well and see a phonics lesson being taught by one of our teachers. So finally, please remember there's lots of information on our school website, particularly on that transition page that we have created for you. If you've got any concerns or issues during the next year, please do not hesitate to contact us. You can contact me via the school office, or you can contact your child's teacher. So the last thing is for me to say, you will receive a call, as I said, from your class teacher during the week of the 6th of July, and they'll be able to inform you which class your child will be in, and they'll also be there to answer any questions you may have. Thank you all for listening, and I look forward to meeting you all in September. Thank you.